Welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. I'm your host, Doug McCain. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. That's at DMac_LA. We're going to break down all of today's action, but you know how we get down. Give me all those fire Dodger takes. Throw them in the comments, and also include where you're watching Dodgers Nation. Where are you repping the Dodgers Nation post-game show from today? I want cities. I want zip codes. Throw them into the comments, but let's get right to the actions. The Dodgers get the win, and they improved to 7-3 on the year. Tonight, they win by a score of 3-0, and Clayton Kershaw dazzled in the desert. A very strong start for Clayton Kershaw, very promising. And I think one of the themes is you saw Kenley Jansen in that last inning. He battled, but also Clayton Kershaw, both of them seeing a pronounced velocity increase, and we're going to break it all down. But first, give me all your takes and give me your zip code and city where you're representing Dodgers Nation from tonight. Let's get right into the comments. Here we go. So we've got Poke. I cannot stand Jansen, closer anymore. Great catch by Corey from Tor Campbell. We got when Jansen steps on the mound, I'm uncertain of the outcome. Look, Kenley Jansen, it's still a positive development for Kenley Jansen. He goes and starts that inning, and what really hurt him, of course, he walks Marte to start the inning. Or no, he hits Marte to start the inning, and then that cutter and that two-seamer, they were just very flat at the beginning of the inning, but then he gets Walker swing on a late-breaking cutter. That's sat at 92 miles per hour. Then he gets Escobar looking on a great pitch, and then that at-bat at the end. You got to give Calhoun some credit. He battled there, and a 10-pitch at-bat and a phenomenal play by Cody Bellinger. 2 strikes, so the outfield was playing in, but Cody Bellinger, he makes a phenomenal play on the ball. And, but yeah, let's get right back to the comments. Here we go. We got Sick Utah from Cammy Cheney. We got Best Kershaw has looked since 2017 from Tim Rogers. What is up, Tim Rogers? How's it going, my man? Yeah, absolutely. That was a very promising start from Clayton Kershaw. It did look like it's the best we've seen him since 2017. There's no question about it. I think it really starts with the velocity increase. The velocity increase of Clayton Kershaw. I want to send a special shout out on behalf of Dodgers Nation to Driveline. I don't know what they do actually, I do know what they do up there, and it clearly is paying dividends for the Dodgers. And another thing about Clayton Kershaw, first pitch strikes tonight, 15 for 19 on first pitch strikes. And we're going to break down his performance because that was the story of the night. Clayton Kershaw dazzling in the desert, and he looked confident out there. He had command of his pitches. He was getting some swing and miss, and that's what you want to see with Kershaw. And if you can get that up to 93 and build that differential between his slider and his curveball, that's when you're getting prime Kershaw. That is when it becomes Goat Shaw again, right? And if you look at him tonight, 13 swings and misses from Kershaw. A lot of that with the slider. Had great depth with the slider. A couple on the curveball. And a couple on just locating that fastball. Great location on the fastball for Clayton Kershaw. And like I said, the most promising development was that velocity. It was up a few ticks from last year. Last year, that velocity was sitting at 90.3 miles per hour. Tonight, he ended up averaging 92 miles per hour on the fastball. He hit one that clocked at 93.3. So I'm looking for that to increase, and you got to love what you saw from Clayton Kershaw tonight. A very promising development. He got 11 swings and misses. So 11 swings and misses. He got some from his slider. Last year, like I said, he averaged about 90.4 on the fastball. And another thing I think worth noting was how much Kershaw has struggled in the past pitching at Chase Field. So in his career, Clayton Kershaw, he has a 16-10 record against the Arizona Diamondbacks with a 2.84 ERA and 33 career starts. But last season, he was 0-1 with a 7.36 ERA and 2 starts against Arizona, both at Chase Field. So for his career, he has an ERA of above 5 at Chase Field, and he came in there. He looked comfortable. He looked focused, and he looks like he is that number 1, number 2 starter once again. If you can build on this and he can stay consistent, I think the big thing, too, was no real hard-hit balls for Clayton Kershaw. No rocket shots off Clayton Kershaw. Gives up 3 hits tonight, 3 singles, and one of them was a infield single that he got. His totals for tonight, he goes 5 2/3 innings, 3 hits. He has singles by Marte and Walker in the fourth, and then he got Vargas. He couldn't get Vargas on that infield single in the fifth. So 6 strikeouts, 81 pitches, 51 strikes. He was painting the zone, first pitch strikes, that curveball, that slider, and that four-seam fastball. He was elevating it. He was working the bottom of the zone. And when his command is on, he's pinpoint. It's really procedural out there for Clayton Kershaw. He looks like he's going to have a great season. And he looks like he can be that guy that can be the 1 and 2 guy. I'll be the first to admit I didn't think that Clayton Kershaw was still going to be a top 2 starter in a World Series contending team. But after what I saw today, I'm going to change everything. I'm going to be like Cody Bellinger and change my stance, right? I'm going to change my stance on Clayton Kershaw because he looks like he can deliver. And how'd you guys feel about Clayton Kershaw's performance today? What would you guys grade it? Give me a grade right down below in the comments. A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D, A, B, C, or D. I'm going to give Clayton Kershaw a solid A minus tonight. A minus. Look, he was no hit. He retired his first first 9 batters, and we're going to break it all down. But let's get back to the comments. Got a lot going on, guys. How you guys feeling today? The Dodgers get the win, and they improved their record to 7-3. They go 5-1 this week. We're gonna break it all down, but hey, let's get a little lightning around these comments right here. Sometimes Jansen will be perfect for an 8-inning reliever. Sword Campbell, Simi Valley, hashtag Bleed Blue LA. Marisol Berrigan, congrats Dodgers on a great win, and let's go Dodgers. Let's get another win tomorrow night versus San Diego, and hashtag Beat the Padres, and welcome back Clayton. Great job, absolutely. Claire, 514 Montreal, Canada. Poke, Kenley Jansen does not give me confidence at all. Deborah Young, I hold my breath every time Kenley comes out of the pen. Doug Crosby, Kersh was lights out. Absolutely. Kershaw, a phenomenal first start for Clayton Kershaw, was solid. He looked so locked in. He was hitting his pitches, and everything was looking good. Look, if Clayton Kershaw goes out there and he's commanding, but he's still hitting 90, 91 on the gun tops, I think it's a different story. But Clayton Kershaw, he looks like he was channeling prime Clayton Kershaw from 2015-16. And it was just a very, very good night and a great first start for Clayton Kershaw. We got Pope. Kershaw was the lead today. Yeah, Clayton Kershaw, they took him out. I think that was the right thing to do. Look, I told you, for the whole entire year, my mantra is stay hot and stay healthy. And I think you saw being extra cautious with Mookie Betts, who was out with a sore middle finger, which I think all of you Dodger fans have a sore middle finger from watching 2 games against the Houston Astros, right? But you saw sitting Bellinger yesterday. I think they're going to err on the side of caution all season long. And with Clayton Kershaw, 81 pitches. They said he was built up for 100 pitches, but he looked very strong in his first start today against Arizona. Scott Chambers, Huntington Beach, California. Doug Crosby, repping from East Lansing, Michigan. Randall Etheridge, Kersh was strong. Let's go Dodgers from the coast of North Carolina. How's it going, Randall? Roy, Kersh looked great. 559 from the BDT. The Visalia in the house. Alvin Duran, reppin' blue in the heart of Angels country. Mookie and Belly with the bombs. Exactly. The MVBs, as I like to call them, they showed out today. Give Cody Bellinger a lot of credit. He goes 1 for 4, but he gets off the schneid with his very first home run of the season. He was hitless in his last 16 at-bats, and he goes big fly in the first inning, and he really set the tone for this Dodgers offense. He puts them up, puts a 2 spot on the Diamondbacks early on, and this season he was really going through it. A 139 average, 1 extra base hit, 2 RBIs going into tonight, and he looked like, I think with Cody Bellinger, if you saw the play today, Cody Bellinger is going to be just fine. I'm not concerned with Cody Bellinger long term. We just need Cody Bellinger to be the guy who he is. He doesn't have to try to be a 300, 320 hitter. Look, we'll take 275 with bombs, okay? Just be who you are. I think you look more relaxed at the plate. He got ahead in the count 3-1. The first thing of the home run, like I said, he looked more relaxed out there. You saw his approach today. He gets ahead in the count, 3-0. He hacked a foul ball, and then he took a changeup to load the count at 3-2. And then Bellinger, he goes big fly with his first bomb of the year, making it 2-0 Dodgers. And then I think all of Dodgers Nation, we can take a big, deep breath, and it was a very big sigh of relief for us, knowing that he had his first home run of the year. Because if this starts to build and snowball, and he's starting to look at his average, it's going to take longer and longer for him to get to a respectable clip. But hey, Cody Bellinger, I think that he just doesn't need to change his swing too much. Look, it's micro details that he's changing. It's not a complete overhaul by any stretch, but you got to remember what Ted Williams said. Ted Williams said, whatever you do, don't let anybody change your swing. And you don't want to change your swing, especially when you got a short season coming off an MVP year. And like I said, much more relaxed at the plate, put much better swings on the ball. And another thing that Ted Williams said was 50% of swings are from the neck up. And it looked like he was just more confident out there. And I think Cody has to just be who he is at the plate. Look, he's always been an all-or-nothing hitter to an extent. But I think the promising thing was not too many strikeouts in this slump. Cody Bellinger just not finding a good rhythm early on this year. But Cody Bellinger, after tonight, on the year, Cody Bellinger, 6 strikeouts. So only 6 strikeouts on the year so far. So he's going to find it. I have no question about it. And back to the comments. But, yeah, big night for Bellinger, getting that first home run, building on that after sitting yesterday. So another thing, too, is great call by Dave Roberts. Give Dave Roberts a little credit there. Give Dave – look, we can ride Dave Roberts all we want, and I definitely don't agree with what his tactics on Saturday's game or Friday's game, I should say, with the Escobar walking Escobar to get to Walker. But still, a great move by Dave Roberts to sit Bellinger, let him watch, let him observe, let him relax a little bit. And you saw that first at bat today, he homers. So hopefully it's more to come. It's a sign of more things to come with Cody Bellinger, and he can return to form and start producing for this offense. Because when he does, look, there's a lot of people that are struggling early on this year. You don't want to talk about Belly. Christian Yelich has also gotten off to a slow start. And look, a lot of start and stop with the first spring training to the what ifs on a season, and then you have summer camp. So Cody Bellinger, I have no doubt whatsoever that he's going to start crushing it on a regular basis. But Tor Campbell Jansen looked great. Deborah Young, Kershaw was lights out. Dan Matson, Hay from Queen Creek, Arizona, Pogue. Any other elite closer would have closed out Calhoun in 5 pitches. Poe Kirsch was elite, though. Roy David Hobbs, Barnes at bats looked great. Yeah, Austin Barnes, hey, the thing about Austin Barnes is if that's Will Smith, does Kershaw look as comfortable out there pitching to Will Smith? Because, hey, you got to give him credit. Called a good game behind the plate with Clayton Kershaw, but offensively, it is essentially like having a pitcher spot there. I mean, why even give him a bat there? He almost struck out 4 times. It was going to be like I thought I was going to be watching him in 4K tonight, if you know what I mean. But tonight, another rough night. Struck out looking, and then it struck out swinging. So if you're going to go up there, don't leave the bat on your shoulder, Austin Barnes. And unfortunately, both of the catcher spots, not very much productivity. Because, hey, the last year when we talked about Austin Barnes, it was let's bring up Will Smith. He comes in. Will Smith is hot. He hits 12 home runs and has 45 RBIs in his first stint in Major League Baseball. But, hey, he's not doing very good this year. If you look at Will Smith this year, he's hitting 118, and he's got just 2 hits on the year, a home run and a single. So he's having better at-bats. If you look at his hard hit rate, he's hitting the ball pretty hard, and you definitely want to see him in there over Austin Barnes, especially from the hitter's spot. But, hey, you're right, Austin Barnes struggling. But give him credit for calling a good game and getting Clayton Kershaw off to a good start. Only 3 hits, 6 Ks, 81 pitches for Kershaw. Man, Kershaw looked good. Yeah, that's the theme of today's show. Give Kershaw, mash that like button. If you have not, if you're on Facebook, definitely share the show, the hashtag DN Postgame Show. If you're on Twitter, retweet it so everyone can join in on the action. And then also be sure to head over to DodgersNation.com for the greatest Dodgers content in the game and the Dodgers Nation store. And if you're watching on YouTube, head over to the YouTube channel and go to youtube.com/DodgersNationTV and subscribe, hit that notification button. But, yeah, please tell me why Austin Barnes is still playing, Anthony Ramon. I think, look, with Austin Barnes, they said Will Smith was going to get a lion's share of the starts, probably start, 4 or 5 games a week. And you know that they want more productivity from him. But also, look, Austin Barnes, his skill set is predicated on his ability to call games, his ability he's one of the better framers in the league, but offensively, look, he's just not getting it done. There's no way around it. You can't defend that. You can't strike out 3 times, almost 4 times until that last at bat. So, yeah, they need more from Austin Barnes, but guess what? This offense has enough power and enough explosiveness to get through and score enough runs without Austin Barnes being productive at the plate. So I wouldn't worry too much about Austin Barnes. The Dodgers are going to be fine, even if he goes up there and just takes a couple pitches and goes down swinging. Because if you look at this Dodgers offense, is still doing very well. I mean, right here, this offense on the week, 10 home runs, by 8 different players. You got Pollock, you got Mookie, Beatty, Rios hit one, Pollock homered twice. And if you look at, they're not going to need it as much. If you look at the Dodgers offense this year, they're averaging, going into tonight, 5.6 runs per game. They're averaging about 1.7 home runs per game, which is similar to they're averaging 1.6 home runs this year. That's just close to 1.7 that they did last year when they mashed 279 bombs on the year. So the offense is really similar to last year. They're averaging about 8.3 strikeouts per game. But, yeah, back to the comments. I wouldn't worry too much about Austin Barnes. The Dodgers are going to score runs whether or not he starts hitting, but you do want to get a more respectable at-bat from your catcher spot. Yay, Dodgers from Angela Landa. Steve Munoz, Urias, May, and Buehler are the present and future of the rotation. I can agree with that. Yeah, I was thinking about that. Buehler, May, and you start Buehler, have Urias second, May. It could be like Dem Bums 2, right? The second version of Dem Bums 2.0. Poke Barnes is the worst hitter ever. Nick, or let's get more at Ryan. Yeah, you look great. Driveline seems to have helped him. Hey, I don't know what's in the water at Driveline, but hey, they delivered for this Dodger team. If we win the World Series this year and Clayton Kershaw has a great postseason, I think that we should give the folks at Driveline a ring just for their services and helping bring that velocity back. But Ben Sanchez, great to see Kershaw and Jansen velocity go up. Thank you, Driveline. Exactly, Poke. Yeah, exactly. Who taught Barnes how to hit, Poke? Patsy, go Dodgers. You got it done. Great job, Kershaw. All baseball just started. Give them all a chance to get back in the groove. I think that's a great point, Patsy. Definitely give these guys a chance to really establish themselves. Look, we're only a few games into the season, 10 games into a 60-game season, and there's just been a lot of ups and downs. Don't think that adjusting to this new way of life on the road where you got to quarantine, where you have to always be inside, and there's all these doubts about whether or not the season is going to continue. You have all these scares with the Marlins and the Cardinals, so it's a lot to ask for these players to adjust to this new style of play and all these protocols. So, yes, it's still a young season, and you see in a young season how quickly a player can turn it around. Just ask Mookie Betts. On the road trip, Mookie Betts is 10 for 25 with 4 doubles and 2 home runs. So 4 doubles and 2 home runs for Mookie Betts on the road trip, and he had been hitting going into tonight. He was hitting 256, and after tonight, he raised his average to 289. So a lot can change very quickly. Some other guys need to step up. Look, Cody Bellinger, his average is at 150, but hey, he goes on a tear and he puts up a 10 for 25 like Mookie Betts did. Just like that, he can get that average to a respectable level where he wants to see it. So. Back to you. By the way, if you have not, how about give me your player of the week? Give me your player of the week. I think you have to go with Corey Seager, right? We're going with Corey Seager for our player of the week. But let's get back in these comments. If you have not, give me your zip code, your city. Where are you repping Dodgers Nation from tonight? And then also give me your player of the week. But let's get let's get back to the action with the comments here. We got Sammy Becca. One of the best parts of the game today was Mookie's home run to the pool. Exactly. Mookie Betts with the drip today, right? With the splash zone hit for Mookie Betts. And look, like I said, I was not worried at all whatsoever. He's another guy. He got off to a slow start, but you're starting to see with Mookie Betts what he's capable of. He is a franchise player in every sense of the word. And yeah, he was hitting it hard off the bat. And goes 8 for 25 on the road trip. He's got elite barrel control. He's got elite bat speed. And hey, if you look at Mookie Betts, that home run today was a great look. The Dodgers scoring 2 runs off that Bellinger home run, getting that insurance run from Mookie Betts. He goes, he hits that home run, second of the year, and then Mookie Betts now has 2 more 95-plus batted balls today with exit velocity. His home run was at 102 miles per hour. That's 18 hard-hit balls for Mookie Betts. So he's starting to scorch the ball just like Corey Seager. And it's the other things that he does, too. When he stretched that double out today, you saw it. Like I said, I call it the Mookie mentality. His style of play is contagious. He locks everyone in. Everyone's looking for the extra advantage, whether it be on the base pass and at the plate. I think he really sets the tone at that one spot. I think one of the drawbacks in an otherwise promising series was, of course, the mismanagement on Friday, but also I think Max Muncy looks just a tad bit lost out there, and he doesn't look like he's a guy that you put at the one spot. Looks very uncomfortable in that role. Max Muncy now on the air, he's hitting 220. with 2 doubles, 3 home runs, tied for the league in home runs for the Dodgers. But tonight, Max Muncy, he goes 1 for 4. He got that single, has a strikeout, 1 left on, 4. He stranded one runner. But yeah, back to the comments, guys. Keep firing away with all your Dodger takes. You're watching the hashtag DN postgame show. Like I said, if you have not, be sure to share the show, retweet, like, mash that heart button for Clayton Kershaw's strong performance today against the Diamondbacks. Nick, when that slider is on, Kershaw cannot be hit. That's a great, exactly. He had the feel for his slider today. He had the feel. He missed a couple times with his curveball, but for the most part, he was pumping that slider, and that's where he was getting his swing and miss from tonight. Tonight, Clayton Kershaw was getting that swing and miss from that slider, about 6 swing and misses for Clayton Kershaw with that slider. And, yeah, it's a very effective pitch and one of the best pitches in the game. There's no question about it. He got 11 whiffs tonight total. So that's what you want to see from Clayton Kershaw. The increased velocity, the swing and miss, the precise command of the base of the ball from Clayton Kershaw. And he was painting. He was painting and hitting his spots tonight. And going back into a deeper look of his outing tonight. So the 3rd inning, he strikes out Peralta for his 3rd punch out of the night, gets Vargas to ground out. Then he falls behind in the count 2-1. So he's behind the count 2-1 against Ahmed, and then he comes back and strikes him out after those 2 filthy sliders that you were talking about, Nick. Those 2 filthy sliders. He retires the first 9 batters that he faced, only 41 pitches through 3 innings for Kershaw, and he was cruising. Then in the 4th inning, he gets Marte on that jam shot, and then Starling Marte gets the first hit of the night on Kershaw with a ground ball. Were you guys getting no-hitter, perfect game vibes? Like I always try to push for that, of course. But he gets Marte on the jam shot. Then Starling Marte gets the first hit of the night, a soft ground ball single into right field. And then Christian Walker, he singled on the first pitch. So a little jam for Kershaw. He had runners on first and second with 1 out, and then Escobar grounds out, advancing the runners. So he had runners on second and third, 2 outs, and then he gets Calhoun swinging to end the inning. So he did face a little pressure. There was some stress in that 4th inning, but Clayton Kershaw, in his first real stressful moment of the season with runners in scoring position, he delivers, and not only does he delivers with a very decisive strikeout. So you love what you saw from Clayton Kershaw in his first pressure-packed moment of the season because, hey, the Dodgers only score 3 runs. If they get just a single there, it makes it a 3-2 game with a lot of game left to play. So Clayton Kershaw was nails in that 4th inning. And then the 5th, Vargas legs out an infield single. If you saw that play, they had the shift on, and it was a tough play, and he wasn't able to get close enough to the bag. And then, like you were saying, that the slider, curveball, he was missing it a couple times. He missed it a couple times, and then he gets Ahmad looking with a 92-mile-per-hour four-seamer right at the bottom of the zone. He painted that, and that's when Kershaw is at his best. Yes, he's not a guy who's going to throw stuff by you like a Walker Buehler, right? Like the other guy in his locker room, or Dustin May, or even a Julio Urias. He doesn't have that kind of gas as a starter, but a 93, when you pair that with a dominating slider and a curveball. Look, batters haven't hit over 200 against his curveball since 2010. It's still an elite pitch, and as Joe Davis was mentioning in the broadcast today, he's top 4 in perceived rise, right? So it's not just a straight, flat fastball. It's one that has life to it. And like Oral Hershiser said, if you can spin it, you can spin it. So when you spin it, you get that movement, and you saw that in Clayton Kershaw and in that at-bat. So he was fooling guys. He was fooling guys left and right tonight, and it was just great to see. It was great to see. Look, you don't know how many Clayton Kershaw outings you're going to get. You just don't know with his back, with this season, and I think tonight was really something to behold out there in his first start of the season. Really now it feels like opening day, right? When Clayton Kershaw makes his first start of the season. But in that 6th inning, he gets Starling Marte to ground out. Then he gets Ketel Marte to ground out, and that was it for Kershaw. So that's it after 5 2/3 innings. So 3 singles, no extra base hits, 6 strikeouts. He was getting out with the slider, fastball, lots of soft contact right there. Like I said, pinpoint command. He was painting all night long. And he was throwing the fastball more, too. So it's another thing, too. Last year, he was throwing that fastball like a 40-something% clip, right? And tonight, he was going to his fastball. So not only has the velocity up, he has more confidence in it. And if that is the theme all season long, I think you're going to see a Clayton Kershaw with a significantly less with an ERA that's not like last year. Last year he had a 3.03 ERA, which was his highest ERA since his rookie season. This year I think it's sub 3 again. So really just a great, encouraging, promising start for Clayton Kershaw. And like I said, the curveball is still the money pitch. The Uncle Charlie, as his kid's name, right? Charlie, that is still the money pitch. Last year, opponents were hitting just 177 off his curveball last year. Well, if you got the fastball working like he did today, that number I think is going to be closer to 130, something in that range. So I went into today, I was like, hey, man, let's see 91, let's see 92 on the gun, and to see 93 like we did, getting close to 94, I was very excited. I was ecstatic. I was very excited to see those numbers on the screen. But let's get back into the comments, guys. If you have not, give me your player of the game. Solid work. We're going to go crazy with these comments, guys. Knock out a bunch of them. If I don't get your comment, I'm going to keep coming back. So, True Blue at NorCal from Lynn. Ben B+, at Kershaw. Patsy. We got Tori replying to Tori Campbell. Poke, Padres and Rockies are no joke, no question. We're going to see tomorrow. You got Buehler versus Paddock. Alvin Duran. Kershaw had a 3.03 ERA. It's high for Kershaw, but dude is still a top pitcher. He's a competitor. He's a generational talent. He isn't going to have his last year be a whimper. That's a great point, Alvin. He's the pitcher of the generation. The statistics back that up. Clayton Kershaw should have a World Series under his belt and possibly a World Series MVP. Game 1, he gets the win, 11 strikeouts, no walks. He was cruising before the Astros wanted to get trashy. And, Clayton Kershaw, there's no way he's going to end his career without another solid run at a World Series title. Look, to me, his career is elite, but it's incomplete, right? His career is elite, but it's incomplete. And to make it truly all time, I think he gets that World Series title, and then you put him up on that Mount Rushmore with some of the greats to ever do it. So, Kersh from Colbin, we got Rockies. Beat Padres twice already. Jill, True Blue, and NorCal, Santa Rosa. Scott Alexander's part of the world. Scott Alexander's part of the woods. Let me get some water here, guys. Yeah, Scott Alexander. How about let's talk about him. Now we're talking about his neck of the woods in Santa Rosa, California. Scott Alexander tonight. 1 inning, 3 Ks, strikes out the side. He gets Vargas to strike out on a foul tip. He gets Ahmed striking out swinging, and then Marte swinging. So a great outing, a great appearance from Scott Alexander, and just the bullpen. Like what I said, guys, if you've been watching this show all year, first episode, I said that 2020 was going to be the year of the bullpen for the Dodgers, and right now they're currently the second best bullpen in all of Major League Baseball with a 1.06 ERA, 1 earned run in 29 innings after today. And the only earned run was Victor Gonzalez, and that was his MLB start. That was his first stint, his first appearance in the show. So great job. The opponents are batting just 163 against the Dodgers, and save for that one rough inning, with the Diamondbacks, they're batting 129. So the bullpen has stepped up at the best possible time because these pitchers, they're not quite built up to go deep into games yet. We haven't seen guys, save for Ross Stripling, go deep into games. You know, Clayton Kershaw last year, 20 of his 26 appearances, I believe, he had gone, 20 of 26, he went past the 6th inning, and tonight he almost gets there. He falls a third of an inning short, but for the bullpen to come out like they have and step up, while the pitchers are getting ramped up, I think has really been the difference and one of the key factors in the Dodgers getting out to this 7-3 start. They're right in the mix. If they take care of business against San Diego, they are on their way to winning an 8th straight division title. Here we go. Good showing in Arizona from Virginia. Cody looked better today from Poke. Angela, Cody is back. Poke. Seager is easily MVP. Seager has over 20 hits from Poke. Joanne was, here goes the injury bug, Stompy Joe. Yes. Exactly. It's like the only type of luck Corey Seager has when it comes to injuries is bad luck. Unfortunately, it's nothing serious. I hope it's not because Corey Seager is clearly a strong MVP candidate, and Corey Seager is absolutely dominating. Corey Seager on the year is hitting .361, OPSing 1.119 with 3 home runs and 6 RBIs. He's barreling pitch after pitch, just tattooing the baseball all season long. Through 8 games, he has an average exit velocity of 93.5, 95. He's hit the ball 95.5 miles per hour or more 19 times in just 32 plate appearances. So he is rocking that baseball, just barreling up everything, and I just love to see it from Corey Seager. If you guys had Corey Seager winning the Dodgers MVP, you might get a little bonus because he might be on his way to winning league MVP as it stands. But Dave Roberts, he said there's a little bit of a quad injury, and it was the left quad, the hydration cramping. So they said one of the concerning things was that he said that they're not sure. That he said, Dave Roberts said, we're not sure. Today I wanted to give it an extra day and see where we are at. I don't see him being available today. So he said he's currently ruled out day-to-day, so we're going to see what's going to happen with Corey Seager. Hopefully it's nothing major because he's hitting the ball on the screws for the Dodgers, and they need him because he's been the most productive offensive player for the Los Angeles Dodgers, and there is no question about it. But here we go. We got Alvin. Austin Barnes plays because he's a great defensive catcher and calls a great game. The offense isn't reliant on him. Exactly. That's what I said earlier, and we are in agreement on that. So definitely big facts from you, Alvin. Francisco, Kershaw looking good. Ray Barsimeon, hey, Doug, just checking in. Great win for the Dodgers. Kershaw back, solidifies the starting staff. Awesome show, Doug. Yeah, exactly. Agree with everything you said, for sure. Yeah, Kershaw definitely solidifies the Dodgers opening staff, and I think he just changes everything the Dodgers want to do as far as with this team, because if he comes in and Clayton Kershaw is my logo's back, my bad. And Clayton Kershaw is not effective and he doesn't look like it could be a number 2 or 3 starter on a team. Look, they call him the ace, and I think he's still the ace, but we all know that if you're going to pick one game, you're going to go with Walker Buehler. But, hey, if he's a strong number 2, I think that changes what the Dodgers do as far as exploring the trade market, as far as building up their rotation and their bullpen with Tony Gonsolin and Dustin May. But here we go. Everyone started at 500, 102 games into the season. Poke, I'd still put Kirsch number 3 or 4 in the rotation. Alvin, 10 games in, these dudes still have to be elite athletes. Most baseball players have routines. It's hard enough being elite without a pandemic. Great point, Alvin. Tor Rios, player of the week. Tor Campbell, Rios, player of the week. Yeah, Edwin Rios, that guy owes an apology to that beam, and he put a dent in that beam yesterday. Edwin Rios, he's averaging 1 home run per 9 at-bats. 1 home run per 9 at-bats. Today he flies out, didn't go deep today, but Edwin Rios has prodigious power, and you'll love to see Edwin Rios looks like a guy who should be getting more at-bats. There's no question about it. Let's test that 1 for 9, that home run per 9 at-bats stat that he's currently putting up. I want to see more of Edwin Rios in that DH spot. Look, he made some nice plays defensively too. So Edwin Rios looks like a player that's going to produce for the Dodgers all season long. His buddy, Matt Beatty, they're good friends. They're homies. He hit a home run the same game. So get them going. Those guys are professional home run hitters. They're professional hitters. They hit the ball hard, rocket shots, and, yeah, one home run for every 9 at-bats for Edwin Rios. But Ray Barsimeon, Bellinger got out of his slump. I had a feeling he would have a breakout. Bellinger was a beast at the plate tonight. Yeah, Bellinger, I think that he needs to be a little more consistent to completely get out of your slump. 1 home run does not get you out of a slump, but it was a step in the right direction for Cody Bellinger. I think that he still has a lot to work on, but I still think that Cody Bellinger tonight was the first step in becoming the Cody Bellinger that we know he is. And like I said, I don't fault Cody Bellinger for tinkering with his stance, but I do think that he needs to be the player that he just needs to accept who he is as a player. He's a guy that he's a little bit of an all-or-nothing swing with Cody Bellinger, but it's not like that. It's not like he was going to be done. I think that Cody Bellinger, this whole idea that last year was a fluke and that he was some below-average major league player after just a couple weeks in was a little ridiculous. So it's not like they came and space jammed his talents or anything like that. So Bellinger is on his way today. Like I said, he's seeing the ball better at the plate, and you just got to focus on the fact that there's not too many strikeouts. Only 6 strikeouts for Cody Bellinger. It's just a matter of finding his rhythm, and he's going to get it going. I definitely believe that it's coming. And today was a great sign, a home run for Cody Bellinger. And Cody Bellinger's home run, too, believe it was the second hard-hit ball of the year for the Dodgers. He hit that at 109.6 off the bat, 378 feet. So Cody Bellinger, give him credit. He worked that count up, a 3-2 count, and he goes deep today. And Cody Bellinger, he ends his drought, his home run drought. He's on the board. Belly and Mookie are going to feed off each other offensively and defensively. They're going to be must-see TV for the next decade as long as we can sign Belly from Braulio Estrada Jr. That's a great point. That's a great point right there, in that they feed off each other defensively too. We saw the play, the otherworldly, the out-of-this-world play that Mookie Betts made on Friday night. That throw was world-class. It was elite, and he is a four-time Gold Glove winner for a reason, and what he did on that play was something spectacular. He just nails him down, and the timing, and how about the tag from Corey Seager right there? I was just jumping out of my seat screaming for that play. Watching Mookie Betts is a absolute treat. It's a joy, the unbridled joy he plays the game with, the way he hustles. I love today. He hits that home run. This guy, I want to see his sprint speed around the base path, because this guy he's a ball player in every sense of the world. He can do it all. He is the definition of a five-tool player. But the point you made that I love is that they're feeding off each other on the defensive side. You saw the play that Cody Bellinger made at the end of the game today, where Cody Bellinger, they were in, it was 2 strikes. He still finds a way to track that ball down, and you see they have a great chemistry in the outfield. You see in the dugout, Cody Bellinger and Mookie sitting next to each other. I do think, look, I call them the MVBs. We could probably workshop that a little bit. If you have any nicknames for them, let's workshop that. MVBs is all right. But hey, I love what I'm seeing from them, and I think that's a great point. Defensively, it's a big part of the game. And also, look, it can feed into offense. You saw what Corey Seager happened to him a couple days ago. He makes that great play on that line shot, and he comes in, he starts the inning. That was really the game-changing inning for the Dodgers against the Astros. But I had not seen this Kershaw in years from East Bay Raider. Poke, yeah, it was a turn-back-the-clock day for Clayton Kershaw. Now let's just hope it's a turn-back-the-clock year for Clayton Kershaw. So if he can build on this, and this is the new normal where he's found, just like, it's crazy how just a couple of velocity ticks can make all the difference. But the reason that is it makes his slider and his curveball that much more dangerous of a pitch. But here we go, Ray Bar-Simeon. Let's get to Roger. How's it going, Roger? My man, when are the Dodgers going to give young Keibert Ruiz an opportunity behind the plate, and especially at bat? Remember, just 2 years ago, he was ranked the #1 prospect. I think that Keibert Ruiz was on the taxi squad for this series, and he's been a heralded prospect for this team. A lot of talk about him being included in trade talks. A lot of people are saying, hey, the Dodgers have found their catcher of the future in Will Smith, but Keibert Ruiz, I think the ceiling is higher for Keibert Ruiz, but hey, we'll see. I would love to see. There's nothing I love more than watching these young players get a chance at the show, and having them on the taxi squad, you never know. Representing the Dodgers from Warrior, Alabama. What's up, Jason? We got Alvin. What up? How is Joe Kelly not the Dodger of the week? I think we won a lot of us over by going after the Astros. Hey, look, Alvin, how about this? He's not my Dodger of the week. He's my hero of the week. My Dodger of the week was Corey Seager, because he did it for 5 games. He dominated for 5 games. Joe Kelly, what he did will never be forgotten. He's a legend now. The legend of Joe Kelly for what he did in that game. He did his chores. He took out the trash in Houston, and he will be forever remembered. And if you have not, I think there's a couple left. There's not very many left, but we got the new Dodgers Nation. I don't even think I can get one. I've been trying to get one. Like the new Dodgers Nation Joe Kelly T-shirt, the nice swing blank, right? Go cop that T-shirt if there's some left. It's a fresh T-shirt. You got to be rocking it. And go to the Dodgers Nation store, too. The Dodgers Nation store. Let's put up the banner here. Cop some gear, guys. Here we go. Let's get back to the comments here. What are we at? 39 minutes. Don't want to go too crazy, but I'll stay here all night. Stoney, we got Kershaw, Mookie players of the game. Bellinger still has to produce. Like we said, Cody Bellinger is he's going in the right direction. Tonight was a big step for Cody Bellinger, because if he goes in and he puts up a donut today, he strikes out. But tonight, Cody Bellinger, he gets that home run. And then also Cody Bellinger, no strikeouts tonight. So he goes 1 for 4, 2 RBIs. He raised his average from 139 to 150. So like I said, with Mookie Betts, he goes from 256 to 289 after tonight. With this many at-bats, you can get that average up very quickly. And I definitely anticipate that for Cody Bellinger. Like I said, accept who you are. You're a home run hitter. You got a big, violent swing, the best finish in baseball. Just do you, Cody Bellinger. Don't worry about being a guy who flirted with 400 up until late May of last year. But here we go. Our pitch. We got. How about Dustin? How about Dustin May? He's going to be great for us from East Bay Raider. Yeah, I'm very high on Dustin May. He has elite frontline starter potential, no question about it. And if Clayton Kershaw looks like this, and Urias still hasn't pitched his best game, but he's been consistent. He hasn't gotten rocked or anything like that, but I know that he can pitch better than he has in this early season. Ross Stripling, he's a different pitcher now with his newly acquired changeup that he's throwing and getting swings and misses and outs from. If they can get quality from those three guys, from Buehler, from Kershaw, from Ross Stripling, from Urias, then I think Dustin May is more of a weapon out of the bullpen. He shuts guys down. He shuts guys down in an extended relief appearance come postseason. So I definitely am very high on Code Red. So yeah, I like Kershaw to challenge for the Cy Young, Raybar Simeon. That'd be great. We got Matt Kemp. Matt Kemp looking chubby, LOL. Hey, he hit his first home run. Matt Kemp. Hey, man, I love Matt Kemp. Once a Dodger, always a Dodger. Matt Kemp, you the man. How's it going, my man? If you're watching. Edwin Rios is Gallo 2.0. Luis, I like that. Francisco Acuna, Kershaw isn't the same pitcher in the 7th inning. Yeah, I mean, he had his struggles late, and he had his struggles early last year. So it remains to be seen this year. I think if he has the kind of stuff he was showing today, he's not going to struggle in the 7th inning because today he already proved that he could get out of the 1st inning with ease. So I think that, hey, I'm going to totally revisit my how I feel about Clayton Kershaw. To me, Clayton Kershaw at this point is just it got off to the – you couldn't have asked for a better start from Clayton Kershaw tonight. He goes out there, soft contact, only 3 singles. One of them was an infield single that could have been easily an out. Swing and miss. He was punching guys out. 6 Ks tonight. Love what I saw from Clayton Kershaw. And we'll talk about his 7th inning when he gets an opportunity. I'm going to base everything on this year with his velocity sitting at around 93 miles per hour. Today it averaged around 92. Mookie is hurt, man, from Boylan Blue. Is there an update on that? Boylan Blue Guerra. Last I checked, it was a middle finger. Come on, Dave. Bring up Cabert from Roger Polk. I'm going to fully enjoy it. Francisco, we got Imagine if Barnes got a hit. Yeah, tonight, Austin Barnes, he is struggling. He's on the struggle bus big time, hitting 125 on the year, 2 hits on the season. And, we know look, Austin Barnes is what he is. I'm not going to try. If Austin Barnes was this highly touted free agent signing or if he was this highly acclaimed prospect, then maybe I would go harder on him. But, hey, he is what he is. We know that he's a competitive guy. He's a guy that you wouldn't want to fight. You wouldn't want to be throwing a cage match with because this guy has just an unrelenting determination. But, hey, he's a guy that is not a very adept offensive player. Let's just put it that way. He's not a guy that's going to slug for you or get or light up the box score with doubles and triples and home runs. He's a guy that does what he does, and it's not like he asked to be in there. But he did a great job getting Clayton Kershaw off to a great start today. You see what his work is, what his worth is behind the plate. Called a great game and got Clayton Kershaw off to a good start. Back to you guys. Let's do it. We got Grandal was one of the Dodgers' best hitters. Hey, man, up until not when it mattered most. I mean, and also defensively. If you remember Yasmani pass ball, we were calling him that. So I don't miss Yasmani pass ball because this team, like I said, they don't need the production from the catcher spot. They really don't. To score runs. This early season is proof of it. The Dodgers are averaging over 5 runs per game, and they're getting essentially nothing. They have 2 hits total from Will Smith. No, 4 hits combined with Austin Barnes and Will Smith. So I wouldn't worry too much about getting production from the catcher spot. Yes, ultimately you want a competitive at bat, and I think that's why Will Smith, he's the best option down there because at some point he's a guy, he likes to launch, he likes to lift balls. Every now and then you're going to get some power from Will Smith. It's just a matter of are the pitchers comfortable with him behind the plate? Does he call a good game? What's that like? But other than that, I think that the Dodgers are fine at the catcher spot. I don't think that really we should focus on that too much because you just kind of have to take what you can get, especially considering the Dodgers have the DH option. So Giants are surprisingly good this season. Yeah, give them credit. They're fighting. they'll still be basement dwellers by the season's end. But, yeah, give them credit early here in the season. Tony Smokes, Dustin May, Santana are Dodgers' future aces. I think they'll all be in the mix. Tony Smokes, he had a very solid outing yesterday. Tony Gonsolin, I love what I saw from Tony Gonsolin yesterday, especially considering the circumstances. Friday night, sorry. But here we go back to you guys. Barnes is like Ellis, Francisco Acuna. Poke, can we bring up Gavin Lux again? I know he made a mistake, but his potential is too good to pass. I've been saying that for the last couple of shows. I am definitely a guy who's on board with giving Gavin Lux another opportunity. Look, Kike Hernandez, he's going to be a free agent at the end of the season. They have Chris Taylor locked in for a couple years, but Gavin Lux is the future, and he's a guy who many people, he was the overwhelming pick, the overwhelming favorite to win Rookie of the Year this year. And what's happened to him, he didn't have a very good end of the season. He didn't have a very good spring, and he was late. I assume he had coronavirus, right? That's what you have to assume. I definitely am on board with seeing Gavin Lux at the show. I think that he's your prized prospect, and if you can get him in here and you can get hot and you can get that major league experience, I don't think it's something where it's any type of service time manipulation or anything like that. I think that Gavin Lux is just his swing, like Dave Roberts said, his swing was out of sync at camp. He didn't show many signs, but I think that Gavin Lux, I definitely, especially if Bellinger gets hot, Mookie stays hot, and Corey Seager's not injured, and they're still getting production from the core, the meat of the lineup, I definitely see no problem with bringing him up and seeing how he looks. So, look, some players are practice players. Some players are gamers. He's the youngest Dodger to hit a home run in the postseason. But, yeah, he did struggle late last year and into the postseason. So Gavin Lux, as great as he is, he mashed his way through the minor leagues. He had a meteoric rise through the minor league system, but at the show hasn't shown that he can consistently hit at a major league level, at an elite level. So you want to see him up here getting at bats, and I'm definitely for it. Because that is the luxury of having a potent offense, having guys like A.J. Pollock and Justin Turner. There's so much explosion. There's so much offense here. Guys that can slug, guys that can hit. The Dodgers 1 through 8, there's really no holes right now other than that catcher spot. So having Gavin Lux at the major league level, I would have no issues with it. I miss Medea. We got here we go. But yep, guys, if you have not, definitely go to DodgersNation.com for all the Dodgers content, man. The greatest Dodgers content in the game. But definitely head over to that YouTube channel too. YouTube.com/DodgersNationTV. Let me know when you subscribe down in the comments, because you got the Blue Heaven podcast, the live show hosted by the senior editors, Clint Pasillas and Brooke Smith. Then you got other content out there, highlight stuff, the press conference videos, the hype videos, other stuff we do. So it's really loaded with content for you guys. But tonight, the Dodgers get it done. They beat the Diamondbacks tonight 3-0. Cody Bellinger, first home run of the year, a 2-run shot in the first inning. Mookie Betts, he homers again. And Clayton Kershaw with his first outing of the year. He has a strong showing for Clayton Kershaw. 5 2/3 innings, no runs allowed. Clayton Kershaw, only 3 hits tonight. No hit through 3, perfect game through 3. So Clayton Kershaw, a very strong debut for Clayton Kershaw tonight. The Dodgers get 2 in the first, 1 in the fifth, 9 hits, 9 strikeouts for the Dodgers, no walks, but the Dodgers silence the Snakes. They win 3 of 4 on the season. The Dodgers 7-3. They finish the week going 5-1. Tomorrow, Walker Buehler versus Chris Paddock. You got to tune in. The Padres, they call them the pesky Padres. Lots of talent on that team. It is going to be a great series, so be locked in. We'll be back Tuesday, and you can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMAC_LA. That's at DMAC_LA. Thanks again, guys. Have a great rest of your day, and I'm out.